Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the.universary. This hearing took place on May 6th, 2024, before Judge Larry Medlock. He's the special judge in the Jamey Noel case. This hearing was a follow-up from the contempt hearing, where the defense had actually taken the suggestion from prosecution and ordered an independent search to be conducted for any remaining firearms across the 4 properties controlled by Jamey Noel. So, this is that hearing. Hope you enjoy.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon, Your Honor.
Thank you very much. Ten C01 2403 MC 634, that being in criminal contempt of Jamey Noel, and 10 C01 2311 F5 297, that being State of Indiana versus Jamey Noel. You may have a seat. Thank you. Mr. Boyles, it's my understanding you have the gentleman here that conducted the search of the Noel properties.
I do, Your Honor. Let the record reflect that on April 17th, after our original contempt hearing, I requested this court to consider appointing an independent person to do a complete, thorough search of all 4 of the houses that Mr. Noel had control over. The court accommodated us and issued that order providing that. We had contacted Mr. Todd Brown, a retired Federal Bureau of Investigation officer, who we asked to conduct the search. Mr. Brown conducted the search, and pursuant to the court order, we filed on May 1st a copy of the report along with an exhibit that identifies all of the items that Mr. Brown located in the house, and we would like to call him as a witness, Your Honor, to have him detail for the court the location and the items that were taken.
You may.
Thank you.
Mr. Brown? Will you have a seat? You raise your hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm under the penalties for perjury testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do, Your Honor.
Thank you. Have a seat. Your witness, Mr. Boyle.
Thank you, Your Honor. State your name for the record, please.
Todd Brown.
And Mr. Brown, are you retired from the Federal Bureau of Investigation?
Yes, I am.
How long have you been retired?
Since October of 2022.
Okay. And when you were an agent with the Federal Bureau of Investigation, where were you stationed?
I was stationed first in Louisville, Kentucky, and then after 10 years, I was transferred to the New Albany Resident Agency in New Albany, Indiana.
Okay. Do you have any specialized training in your job as an FBI agent?
I do. I received basic training at the FBI Academy in Quantico, Virginia, basic new agents training, and then received additional training once I was out in the field, and I was also a member of the evidence response team while I was assigned to the Louisville Division.
Okay. Mr. Brown, when I contacted you, I asked you if it would be within your capacity to do an inventory of all our client Jamey Noel's properties that he owned for the purpose of securing any additional weapons that might be there, even though the court didn't authorize that, also to indicate whether any ammunition located in those locations. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Also, I've asked you that you were aware at the time that you were going to do the search that Mr. Noel was given permission by this court to have a shotgun at the residence. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay. Well, let's start with what properties were you assigned to search?
I was assigned residence at Old Tay Bridge and a pole barn with a cabin next to it. I believe residence was also in Jeffersonville.
Okay.
Then a green barn at 7, and then a house on Turnberry, Blueberry.
Also, they were also located in Jeffersonville?
Yes, all the properties were in Jeffersonville.
In order to properly conduct such a search, what did you do? How did you prepare yourself?
After receiving the specific locations, once I got to the first location, I took what I would consider entry photos, which is just general photos of the outside of the property. And then once I entered the residence, I took photos as I moved through the residence.
Okay. And did you conduct it in what I would call an orderly manner, starting on one floor and went to another floor? Is that kind of how you did it?
Yes, yeah.
Was anybody there to assist you?
Paul Meyer was present, but I completed the search myself.
Okay. Who is Paul Meyer?
He's a individual that is working on this case, I believe.
Is he also retired from the Federal Bureau of Investigation?
He is. He and I were assigned together in New Albany.
Okay. And he's the one that contacted you on my behalf to see if you would independently do the search. Is that correct?
Correct.
All right. Well, let's start with the first property that you talked about, which would be 3001 Old Tay Bridge in Jeffersonville. Is that the residence?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Were you able to locate any weapons in that home?
I did.
And what did you locate?
I located a Glock 26 pistol, semi-automatic pistol, a Sig Sauer 1911 semi-automatic pistol, and a shotgun.
Okay, let's be very specific on the first, the Glock 26. Did you also take a photograph of where that was located?
I did.
Okay, could we have a picture up on the screen, which would be for the purpose of having you identify the area where that weapon was found. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And what room of the house is that?
That is a closet next to the laundry room. As you're looking at the photo, the laundry room is in the background of the photo, and the closet is the main part of the photo.
And that's on the main floor of the house?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And I noticed that there's a lot of material in that closet. Was that there when you went through it that day?
Yes, sir.
Where was the gun located?
It was located...
Why don't you come off the stand, if the court would permit, and point to the photograph?
It was located in with all these items that are shoved into the closet area here.
Was it on the floor? Was it in an item, or where was it?
Actually, at the time that I located it, I was pulling items out of the closet, and there was a nylon zip case, and I opened the nylon zip case to see what was in it, and that's when there was a gun box inside the zip case. I opened the gun box, and the gun and one magazine was in the box.
Was the weapon loaded or unloaded?
It was unloaded.
Okay. Could we show the second photograph, please?
I'm sorry.
We're now showing a new photograph of a picture weapon. Can you describe that, please?
Yes, that's the Glock 26 pistol that I found, and that's the manner in which I found it. It was in the box, locked back, and the magazine was in the box also.
And that's the one that came from the closet,
Yes, sir.
correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You can stand there because we're going to move to the next location. Did you also, as part of your search, in searching all of the house, went to the master bedroom?
I did.
Okay, and is that the photograph of a closet located in the master bedroom?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and was there a weapon located there?
There was.
And what was the weapon?
It was a 6 Sauer 1911 semi-automatic pistol.
Okay, and where was that weapon located?
It was located in this area of the floor. There was a pile of stuff on the floor.
Was that pile on top of it?
I'm
I
sorry.
couldn't see.
Oh, I'm sorry, sir.
If you'll do that again from the other side.
No, I'm sorry. I located it in this area of the closet. There's a pile of clothes and all sorts of stuff there on the floor, and I found it as I was pulling stuff out.
Thank you.
Was that located in a bag itself, or was it just loose?
The firearm is located in what I would call a utility belt in a holster.
Okay. I think she's reaching for a pointer. And again, that's in the master bedroom.
Yes, the master bedroom, then when you are facing the master bathroom, there are closets on either side of a hallway leading from the master bedroom to the master bathroom, and this was the right side closet.
Okay. You can return to the witness stand, please. And is that the photograph of the weapon that you found in the master bedroom closet?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Was that loaded or unloaded?
The weapon was loaded with a magazine in the magazine well, but there was no round in the chamber.
You secured both these weapons, is that correct?
I did.
And you have them under lock and key now, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Assume that was a 45.
Yes, sir.
Judge, if we could have this marked and we'll offer that into evidence. And it's a photographs of all the pictures you took in all the properties.
Any objections, Mr. Hurdle?
No, Your Honor.
How you marking it, Connor?
One, States Exhibit 1.
I'm sorry,
States Exhibit 1.
not states exhibit.
I mean, Defendant's Exhibit 1.
So defendant's exhibit 1 admitted or
Right,
not.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
We're always the blue state. Mr. Brown, I'm going to hand you what's been marked for identification as Defendant's Exhibit 1 and ask you, can you identify that?
Yes, sir.
What is that?
That's a thumb drive that contains the photographs that I took from examining all 4 properties and also photographs of all items that I located.
Okay. This time, Your Honor, we would offer Defendant's Exhibit 1.
No objection, Your Honor.
So defendant's exhibit 1 admitted without objection.
Your Honor.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. As part of your responsibility, Mr. Brown, did you also inventory what I requested, any kind of ammunition that may have been in the house while you were there?
Yes, sir.
And the report that you filed as Defendant's Exhibit A lists all the ammunition from both the master bedroom, the garages, the theater room, master bedroom, basement, unattached garage, and then you also went to 709 Old Salem Road for the purpose of examining it,
Yes, sir.
and you found no weapons in that location, correct?
No, sir.
But you did find ammunition which you categorized.
Yes, sir.
You found it in the loft living room and loft first bedroom and the loft storage tote and the garage entry. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
You then went to 709 Old Salem Road, and that location, nothing was found in that location?
Correct. That was the cabin.
And then you went to 2408 Turnberry Drive, Jeffersonville. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And nothing was found there?
Correct.
And all the ammunition that you did, you have it under lock and key under your custody. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Brown, I also advised you that this court, after the initial hearing, had permitted Mr. Noel to keep a shotgun. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Were you able to locate such a weapon at the house?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Describe what it was.
It was a Remington 1187 police model auto-loading shotgun.
And was that weapon loaded when you discovered it?
No, sir, I don't believe it was.
Is that weapon still at the house?
No, sir. To the best of my knowledge, it is not.
Did someone in the house indicated they wanted it removed?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And was it removed?
To the best of my knowledge, yes.
Okay. And it's currently located in Mr. Wilder's office under his protective custody. Is that correct?
Yes, correct.
So those are the entire amount of weapons that you found when you searched all 4 properties. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Could we show the picture? I think Mr. Wilder has it up. Is that the shotgun that was at the home?
Yes, sir.
And is that the Remington weapon?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And that's no longer at the house. Is that correct?
That's correct.
So based upon your testimony and your experience and an independent examiner of all properties that Mr. Noel owns, there are no weapons in any of those properties. Is that correct?
To the best of my knowledge, that is correct.
I have nothing further.
Cross-examination, Mr. Hurdle.
If he was allowed to have the shotgun, why did you remove it?
At the request of his wife,
Was she present when you were there?
she was not.
You spoke to her, though?
No, sir. Paul Meyer spoke to her, and Paul Meyer advised me that she wanted the weapon removed.
And you said Paul Meyer's working on the case. He works for the defense,
Yes, sir.
and he's also retired FBI?
Yes, sir.
And the two of you work together?
With the FBI, yes.
I'm sorry, you said you retired from the FBI in October of 22. When did you start?
Started April 15th, 1991.
Approximately how many rounds of ammunition did you find?
It would be a really rough estimate. I've detailed it in my report. Approximately 5,000 rounds.
What caliber?
Various calibers. They're 9mm, 45, 380, 5.56, 7.62. That's 22. And there could be others. That's what I recall.
The two guns that you found, the Glock and the SIG,
Yes, sir.
were you told where to look for those?
No, sir.
Nobody told you to look in the master bedroom closet or the laundry room closet?
No, sir.
Did you have any contact with the defendant, his wife, or his daughter?
With his daughter.
Which daughter?
I think Grace.
What was the extent of that contact?
Just to advise that I was at the home.
Had you ever met any of them before?
No, sir.
Had you ever met the defendant before?
I do not specifically recall ever meeting the defendant.
Even though he was in law enforcement for about 30 years, that overlapped the same time that you were in law enforcement?
That's correct. I don't specifically recall meeting him.
Did you search any vehicles?
I did.
Ammunition or weapons found in any cars, trucks, or other types of vehicles?
No, sir.
Do you recall off the top of your head what vehicles you searched?
There was a Trans Am and a BMW at the residence. Then there were several, what I would call classic cars, older cars, at the pole barn at 709 Old Salem Road.
Several, more than 10, less than 10?
I would say 10 to 12.
Thank you, Mr. Brown. Nothing else.
Mr. Boyles, anything else?
I have no further questions. Thank you.
Mr. Brown, you retired in 2022.
Yes, sir.
Were you able to keep your service revolver or sidearm?
No, sir.
Do you have one you typically carry?
I do.
Do you know where it's at all times?
Yes, sir.
Did you always know where your service sidearm was? It's probably not a revolver, was it?
No, sir. Yes, sir, I did.
So to find a service revolver, I keep saying revolver, service firearm, in a duty belt with other mags, that's not too far-fetched to believe that one would know where that was at, would it? Rhetorical question, you don't have to answer.
Yes, sir.
Just reinforces my decision to impose sanctions. If that prompts any further questions.
None from the
No.
defense.
I do have another question or two. The Remington shotgun, was it in a box when you found it?
No, sir.
Was it near a box? A Remington firearm box?
Not that I recall.
Did it still have tags on it?
No, sir.
Where was it at?
I located it in the basement, what I generally term the theater room.
And not loaded?
No, sir.
Not much use for self-defense, is it?
No, sir.
You were in the upper area and you needed a firearm for self-defense, where would you go of the ones you found?
The closest one would be the 6R 1911.
Okay. No other questions? If that prompts any questions.
One question, Your Honor. Mr. Brown, was there any 12-gauge ammunition found?
Yes, sir.
That's all, Judge.
Mr. Boyles, I'm not going to impose any further sanctions today because it was not certified to me that there was no further firearms. But after today, if there's any further firearms found, there will be additional sanctions. So if your client needs to tell you something, he needs to tell you right now. You need to take a few moments and ask.
I'll be happy to, Your Honor.
Why don't we go off the record so he can speak with his client?
The one thing we would add,
Hold
Your
on.
Honor, is the duty weapon.
Let us get back on. Okay, we're back on now. Go ahead.
The only thing we could add, Your Honor, is there's no weapons in the house now, and the duty weapon was seized on the original search. It was in the console of his car.
Okay.
So the one that was found was not the duty weapon.
Okay.
Thank you. I have no questions.
Why was it in a service holster with additional mags? And you don't have to answer that.
Well, because I don't carry guns, so I don't know, Judge. I got a BB gun.
That's all right. Mr. Brown, thank you. And thank you for conducting the search for me. I appreciate it. Your
Thank you, Your
excuse.
Honor.
Thank you.
Anything else we need to address?
No further evidence, Your Honor.
Mr.
Nothing-
Hurdle,
No, Your Honor.
is there anything else we need to address while on the record?
I don't believe so. I think a Chambers meeting on discussing trial dates and other things is appropriate, as the court suggested.
Mr. Hurdle?
Your Honor, I know the court made its decision not to issue any more sanctions, but from the state's perspective, the finding of 2 additional weapons, one a service weapon, one that was loaded, easily accessible, is still concerning and troubling to the state. I know it is to the court as well. I don't know that the state has anything to offer other than that. The court issued a sanction last time and would reiterate its position before that the court orders are something to be followed, and hopefully that doesn't happen again.
Well, Mr. Hurdle, if it had been certified to me that there was no further weapons, and then these additional weapons were discovered, I promise you there would have been additional sanctions. But because that certification had not been made, I don't think it would be fair to do so. But I did give Mr. Boyles and his client warning, should any further weapons be found, there will be more sanctions.
Thank you, Judge.
Well, Judge, it was our position, as I told the court at our bench conference, that we wanted to do an independent to make sure that there would never be any ramifications on such. This court issued its order, and we're abiding by it. We would respectfully ask the court to possibly reconsider the amount of the time on the, because we're going to need, obviously, our client as we proceed to go through the discovery, and it makes it a little easier if he's available, but I'll leave that decision to the court.
Mr. Boyles, I know you have a job to do on behalf of your client, but as I indicated, finding these additional weapons just reinforces my decision. And a matter of fact, I wish I'd have made it longer. So, but I'll stick with the 60. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
We'll be off record.
So I found that very interesting. I think the prosecution kind of failed by not asking for the assurance or the verification that there were no further firearms. If the prosecutor had done that and the defense said, nope, there's no more, there could have been further consequences in this hearing. So I think that was something that slipped through the cracks for the prosecution. The next hearing is scheduled for May 20th, 2024, and it is a hearing on an injunction that's been ordered against Jamey Noel, preventing him from getting rid of any high-end items that might be relevant to this case. So I will be watching out for that, and we'll post it to you ASAP. Have a great day.